So for procedure step 1, we've got the lab set up here, okay? And then we're gonna take the mass of an empty crucible. Okay, so I'm gonna have this balance turning on here. And then we always make sure it goes back to 0, which we're at. So this is an empty crucible. Okay, there's nothing in it. So that's our mass beforehand, okay? So what we're gonna do next is we're gonna take a small piece of magnesium. So magnesium metal looks like this, okay? So it's a shiny little piece of metal, okay? So I'm gonna take the mass of just that now. Okay, so that piece of metal is our magnesium that we're gonna use. What I'm gonna do is kind of curl it up a little bit and put it into the crucible itself. The reason I'm gonna do that is it's gonna get hotter if it's closer together to each other. So, curling it up. So it looks like this, okay? Right, so I'm gonna go ahead and put it in there, okay? Then, the next thing I'm gonna do is take this crucible, okay? And I'm gonna put it up onto that apparatus there, okay? So it's gonna sit in that wire triangle, but obviously since it's hot, I'm gonna use some tongs to do that, okay? We're gonna place that securely in this wire triangle to let it heat, okay? So I'm putting it in there. So with the fire that you're noticing there, that's a Bunsen burner. So with those Bunsen burners, you wanna have that really blue inner cone that you can see there, okay? That means it's gonna be really hot, which is gonna allow it to really heat up what's in the substance that is in that crucible, in this case the magnesium, okay? So with this reaction, we're gonna let it go for a couple minutes. So I'm gonna try to hold it up here as best we can, that we can watch this play out, okay? So this reaction will generally go on, I'll let most students do it for about 10 minutes. Since you guys are watching a video for this, I'll accelerate it a little bit here as we need to, okay? But you're taking observations of what you're seeing. You can observe, you know, the flame itself and where the crucible is sitting in regards to that flame, okay? And then what you're seeing in the process, there's a little bit of white and black in this crucible. That's not related to the magnesium, okay? So just an FYI on that. But as you let this process unfold, you're gonna take some observations like we keep doing, okay? So it is changing some, if you can see that. It will get really dramatic here, and like I said, I'll expedite it as we need to, just because we're trying to watch a video of it here. I don't want you to have to stare at it for 10 minutes when you can't see it in person. So it's definitely changing some. I'll give it another minute here and then I'll expedite it. If you notice the directions, I do have, if you know, at the end of 10 minutes it doesn't look different, I would do the same expediting that I would do for this video anyway, okay? So take observation of what the flame sounds like, what you're hearing, what the flame looks like, what the magnesium looks like. All right, I'm gonna go ahead and take time here to expedite this just again, because I don't want you to have to watch it for 10 minutes, okay? So this is what it looks like right now, okay? But we're gonna let this expedite here in a second, so you'll see this. So what I'm doing is just immersing this directly in the flame to start it off here. So this would do this on its own too. I just wanted to help it out a little bit so you guys weren't watching this for 10 minutes, okay? To make sure you're taking these observations as you're seeing it here. I'm going to turn off the Bunsen burner at this point. We don't really need it anymore. So I'm not sure if you can see it, but the bottom of the crucible there was kind of glowing as well with the sample itself, okay? So I'm going to move this down to the table to let it kind of cool off here for a second, and I'll try to get closer so you can really see what that looks like now, okay? And I can even try to touch a little bit here so you can kind of see, since you can't see it in person. Hang on. So that kind of shows you what it looks like, okay? You can see it on the tongs here as well, okay? Just getting any loose pieces back in there. All right, now you would let this cool for a couple minutes, but again, I'm not going to make you stare at it for 5 minutes like it says to take the mass of it, just because you're doing this virtually here. So that's our final mass after, okay? So that is the crucible with the magnesium oxide inside. And then I'll stand this guy back up. You can do the lab then from there, okay? You've seen it, you've seen your measurements, and you can answer the rest.